Number 10. Kill Command. It is a 2016 science fiction action horror film directed by Steven Gomez. The film is set in the not-too-distant future when an army of skilled troops is taken to a secluded base of operations to examine the latest batch of defense robots. As they perform their duties, they quickly learn that their robot colleagues are more powerful and lethal than they expected, forcing them to struggle for survival against the same robots they were meant to supervise. Indeed, it's AI gone mad once more, yet there's something about this subject that makes this simple story entertaining. The film leans largely on common sci-fi and action tropes, but it is an excellent pick if you want a visually appealing and action-packed science fiction adventure. The film's main highlights are its action scenes, modern technology representation, and special effects. Whereas the disadvantage is that it provides nothing new. For those who enjoy intense science fiction stories about advanced military action, the story presents a captivating blend of subjects related to man versus machine and futuristic battles. Number 9. The Darkest Minds. It is a 2018 dystopian science fiction film directed by Jennifer Nelson. The film unfolds in a dystopian future in which the majority of young people have perished from a global epidemic and those who have survived have gained abilities. The major plot revolves around a group of teenagers who unexpectedly obtain extraordinary abilities while being labeled dangerous by the authorities and imprisoned. Ruby is among the most powerful young people, breaks out of her prison, and leads a group of fugitives who are looking for safety. After being mistreated by those in leadership, this new group attempts to use their shared abilities to fight back and reclaim their place in the world. The movie, however, fell short of making the most of the book material it adapted and adhered to outdated dystopian cliches instead of trying something new with its narrative. Whereas the action scenes and special effects in the film were excellent. For fans of the genre, it's an entertaining watch as a terrific post-apocalyptic teen superhero movie that combines science fiction themes with enjoyable teen drama. If you don't compare the film to the book, it's good. Number 8. Encounter. It is a 2021 sci-fi drama thriller film directed by Michael Pearce. The narrative centers on an ex-military man, Malik, who is certain that an extraterrestrial invasion is approaching and sets himself up for an across-the-globe adventure with his two boys. In an attempt to protect themselves from an unimaginable danger, they embark on a strange quest that leads them down more hazardous paths, where the boys will have to put their childish behaviors aside. Malik's beliefs and how he learned of the impending threat have a twist, which sort of explains the plot of the movie. The story's concept is thought-provoking, and it has a strong ambience, although the conclusion seems debatable. For those who enjoy intelligent science fiction, the movie is recommended to watch since it presents an unusual viewpoint on the alien invasion genre. Number 7. Paul. It is a 2011 sci-fi comedy road film directed by Greg Mottola. The movie tells the story of two comic book fans named Clive Gollings and Graham Willey who come upon Paul, the alien, in a nearby area of Area 51. The movie chronicles their exploits as they assist Paul in avoiding intelligence agents while finding his way back to his own world. The movie satirizes science fiction as a whole and has a distinctive and captivating alien-on-the-run plot and is full of witty nods to science fiction books and cinema. The most noteworthy aspect of the movie is the connection between its main characters, and the humor is clever and frequently sharp. The alien look is not particularly unique, which kind of makes sense as it is a low-budget film, but it is nonetheless a lot of fun to watch because it does a fantastic job of fusing humor and science fiction themes. Therefore, Paul will be a good movie for you if you enjoy humor and science fiction. Number 6. Vesper. It is a 2022 sci-fi film directed by Christina Buizite and Bruno Samper. The film revolves around a scenario in which the environment of the planet has fallen apart, leaving survivors in isolated groups, while wealthy individuals live in seclusion within the Citadel, an exclusive community. The main plot revolves around Vesper, a teenage girl who must struggle to make ends meet with her handicapped father. However, everything starts to change when a mysterious aircraft from Citadel crashes close to her home one day, where she meets Camellia, a lady with odd confidential information, which forces Vesper to use all of her biohacking knowledge to battle for an opportunity for better survival. The story and tone of the picture will occasionally remind you of another sci-fi film, Prospect, but what makes Vesper noteworthy is not the freshness of its concepts, but the distinctiveness of how they are portrayed. Vesper is a fantastic film for those who enjoy deep and complex science fiction stories because of its brilliantly imagined dystopian sci-fi world, while its analytical plot may not appeal to fans of sci-fi action. Number 5. The Space Between Us. It is a 2017 romantic sci-fi film directed by Peter Chelsom. The plot centers on Gardner Elliott, a boy who becomes the first person born on Mars during the course of a space expedition. As he matures in the Mars environment, he befriends an earthly girl online named Tulsa, and when he eventually gets an opportunity to travel back to Earth, he sets out on a quest to locate his father and discover life for the very first time on his own planet. But to his happiness, he receives a shocking revelation that challenges his presence on Earth. The film is a touching story set in the context of space travel that uses ideas of relationship, personality, and human encounters while being formulaic and lacking in scientific truthfulness. The film's main flaw is that it depends more on the romance element than the science fiction part involving Mars. Nonetheless, those seeking love dramas with a sense of science fiction and space-related stories may find the film appealing. Number 4. Knowing. It is a 2009 science fiction thriller film directed by Alex Proyas. The movie centers on John Kosler, a teacher who finds a sequence of digits in a time capsule that point to calamities from the distant past and into the future. He embarks on a mission to avert the ultimate disaster in the wake of this discovery, but as he explores the riddle further, he learns that the equations conceal a horrifying revelation regarding the fate of mankind. The narrative fast-forwards as John seeks the ominous writer's daughter's assistance in an attempt to stop the approaching calamity. The film's implementation of its supernatural aspects is messy and its plot is tricky, but Nicolas Cage gave a fun performance. Overall, the movie has amazing visuals and an interesting idea that defies logic. Essentially, you have to accept certain aspects of the plot and enjoy it for what it is. The story delivers an insightful examination of the essence of existence, along with an appropriate amount of thrills and strange adventure. Number 3. The Invisible Man. It is a 2020 sci-fi horror film directed by Lee Wanell. The plot revolves around Cecilia, who thinks she is being stalked by her scientist ex-boyfriend, Adrian, who died a few weeks ago. She strives to persuade people of the risk she confronts while trying to find evidence that she is the target of an invisible monster. However, when the cops refuse to accept what she says, she resolves to take things into her own control and strike back. This film received high praise at its initial release, and if you are a true movie buff, you have probably seen or heard of it. In any case, you really should watch this. From the beginning, you will be captivated by the story's smart mix of suspense, anxiety, and persistent dread of being watched. The film's strongest point is how well it combines social judgment and terror, which makes it an engaging and appropriately entertaining work of science fiction. All things considered, it's an impressive film that presents an unusual interpretation of a well-known psychological distress that is backed by a science fiction touch with deep emotional depth. Number 2. Palm Springs. It is a 2020 sci-fi romantic comedy film directed by Max Barbaco. The film centers on Niles and Sarah, two wedding party members who keep reliving the exact same day when they get caught in a temporal loop. Niles meets Sarah after rescuing her from a terrible event, and Sarah becomes attracted to Niles and his eccentric attitude. But as a bizarre intervention ruins their spontaneous flirtation, Sarah and Niles start causing wild mayhem during the wedding reception and develop a special friendship that is threatened by unexpected revelations. The narrative is well written, captivating, and perfectly strikes a balance between lighthearted moments and thoughtful analyses of partnerships and life in general. It does not provide an intellectual time loop story with a scientific explanation, so don't anticipate one. It advances the time loop genre by emphasizing the trap conditions as an interpersonal shared experience that evokes both significant connection and nasty breaking splits. Overall, it's a clever, humorous movie with fantastic comedic sequences and a fresh take on the time loop theme. Number 1. 10 Cloverfield Lane. It is a 2016 sci-fi horror thriller film directed by Dan Trachtenberg. The film stars Mary Elizabeth Winstead as Michelle, a young woman who, following a car accident, awakens in a concealed bunker. She is informed by two men, Howard and Emmett, that a cataclysmic catastrophe has made the outside environment unsafe, and she has been advised that there's been an unexplained attack that has poisoned the natural world and that staying indoors is the only way to survive. However, Howard's domineering personality drives Michelle to run for her life, where she strives to learn what is true about the rest of the world. The movie tells an interesting story that keeps viewers wondering what the real purpose of the ongoing events is. Its cramped, stressful ambience proved excellent at building suspense and ambiguity in the bunker's small space. Overall, it's a suspenseful and masterfully written thriller with a spooky sci-fi puzzle that keeps the mind tickling till the very end. It's a sharp, enjoyable sci-fi film that's worth seeing. That's it for today. Thank you for watching this video. And do subscribe our channel to see more videos related to movies and series suggestions.